chapter 2 of Python programming. We're gonna learn about writing simple programs. So a few things we're gonna focus on this week is number one, we're gonna talk about software development process, and then we're gonna talk about the IPO, or short for input, process, and output steps. And later we're going to talk about Python identifiers and expression. While talking about this, we're going to work on some practical Python examples. So what is the software development process? So the process of creating a program is often broken down into stages according to the information that is produced in each phase. So the phases are: analyze the problem, determine specifications, create a design, implement a design, test and debug the program, and finally maintain the program. So let's look at every single one of them in a bit more detail. So what is the analyze step? So analyze step is to figure out exactly the problem to be solved. Try to understand it as much as possible. So in the step, we're trying to understand the problem itself. The next step is determine specifications. In this step, we're going to describe exactly what our program will do. That includes what is the input, what is the output, and then how the input and output relate to each other. While doing so, we're gonna not worry about how the program will work, but we'll rather focus on what it should do. And the next is the create design. So this is to formulate the overall structure of the program. This is where the how question gets answered or gets worked out. We're going to develop our own algorithm to meet the specifications, and we may use a flowchart or we may use pseudocode in this step. And notice that up to here we never talked about coding and programming yet. So the programming is the implementation step. So implement design is to translate the design into a computer language. So this is the first step we're gonna actually start coding. So in this course, we will use Python for writing our computer programs. And the next step is test debug the program. Once we write our program in Python, we're gonna try out to see if our program works. If there are any errors, or which we call bugs, they need to be located and they need to be fixed. This process is called debugging. And your goal is to find errors. So try everything that might break your program. So that includes to examine the program line by line. And the final step is maintain the program. So and maintain program basically says continue developing the program in response to needs of yours or of your users over the years. Okay, in the real world, most programs are never completely finished. They usually evolve over time. Okay, so in next video we're going to look at an example called temperature converter.